Hey everyone, this is Dan Messias, and in this episode of the Look of SIMCITY, we're gonna take a closer look at all the buildings and processes of the oil drilling specialization and their real-life influences.
The flash of power, the gleam of oil.
I'm going to explain to you one by one what the different stages of the petroleum industry are in the game and hope to give you a little insight into the real oil business counterparts. If you want to know even more about the subject, I'll put some informative links in the description. Everything starts with finding the oil. In the game this is rather easy. In the setting choosing screen you see if there are any resources on the lot, and as soon as you go to the city view you can find all the pools by checking the oil map. In real life, on the other hand, this is a rather difficult undertaking. The most used process nowadays is to send out seismic shockwaves where, based on a geological analysis of the surface rock, you could find pools of oil. These shockwaves are produced by a thunder truck or explosions, and the reflected signals are thoroughly surveyed. When the sent back impulses vary in a certain manner because of the liquid nature of the resource, it could point to a pool of crude oil. If test drillings confirm the assumed occurrence, drilling can start. Rigs that drill and subsequently pump for oil must be powered. In SimCity this happens by being connected to the streets and through those to a power plant. Their real-world counterparts mostly use large diesel engines that can produce electricity even in remote places. You can see this power in motion when you look at the pump jacks pumping up the oil.
The rhythm of pumping, the unceasing heartbeat of the oil fields.
As the resource is pumped up as a mixture of sand, water, air and gas, it needs to be filtered before it can be filled into the large tanks you see in the front. The most visual striking feature of the big oil well in SimCity, its flame at the top, is a visual representation of this process, as the flares are responsible for getting rid of the unused gas that comes out of the oil pocket. The crude oil is now stored in large masses and can be further processed in an oil refinery. Here, the oil can be turned into different kinds of hydrocarbon chains which make up for different products. The most important of them is petroleum. Petroleum is mainly used for heating and the reason why it's in SimCity, making plastic. Another function of the crude oil is producing fuel, which in SimCity can be sold to the global market or used on a great work. Oil is a carbon-rich material. That's why it's perfect to make larger compounds of carbon in the form of polymers. Chains of molecules that form resins that can finally be molded into anything. The wonder of plastic. As you might know, plastic is used for everything nowadays, and so it's also a big business in SimCity, as you can either sell it or use it further for making processes. Fuels are the other big business relying heavily on your crude oil. Instead of refining the oil to petroleum, the crude oil can be chemically formed into kerosene, gasoline, diesel and many more. And at this point in time, those are the resources that let people cross oceans, or in SimCity, let them drive out their city square. But in real life, as in SimCity, there comes a time when the oil pools deplete. There is a point in time when the maximum rate of petroleum extraction is reached, called peak oil, after which the rate of production is expected to enter terminal decline because of the rarity in which oil can be found, to the point where it won't be affordable anymore to use it in the extreme extent that we do at the moment. Scientists generally time this point somewhere in between today and the next 20 years. Oil is a very interesting business, as plastics and fuel have become more and more substantial through time. So it's great to see this existential industry being represented in SimCity. But the most important thing is that the game also showed the consequences of the big drilling game that is bound to die out at some point. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said in the beginning, you can find out more about the topic when you follow the links in the description. Be sure to subscribe to my channel to catch all my videos in the future. If you're interested in any topic in particular, write it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Smell you later.